Hello there, I'm Melanie, and today we talk about books. My apologies if my voice sounds strange. I'm just really not well. I'm feeling a bit under the weather, and it's extremely hot here in Italy, so please bear with me throughout the video. So this video is called Shame on Me, and it's mainly a video where I point out all the books, which are these, that I own and I still haven't read. Some of them actually are new, others are a bit older, so we'll go through it. We will actually flick through it. I won't tell you the plot, because some of them, well, to be honest, don't remember it, and also that's not the point. The point is, shame on me for not reading those and showing you how many books I still have to read. And this video will be in English, as you have noticed, because those books are just in English. Somewhere here you will see my Italian video link, well, the link to my Italian video, and those are just books in Italian, so the video is in Italian for that reason. Without any further ado, let's jump in, okay? So, as I said, these two books are quite new. Actually, I received them this week. I purchased them, not that Faber and Faber sent them for free, of course. And I will read those two for a project by Melanie M. It would be a project in Italian, but she kindly asked me if I could read in the original language, which is English. So I gladly accept it. So the first one, it's Gaelge by Marilyn Robson, and this one is Never Let Me Go by Kazuo Ishiguro. And I'm thrilled to read both of them. This one has been on my wish list for I would say 4 or 5 months, because one of my colleagues at university gave a lecture on another writer, and she talked about the importance of Martineau on the work of Robinson's work. So it intrigued me, so this will come with me in Ireland next week. Whereas this one, I've heard so many things about Never Let Me Go and Kazuo Ishiguro, and he won the Nobel Prize. None that does necessarily imply that, if you win the Nobel Prize, you are the best writer ever. You should be, but it's not, it's not definitely a rule. And so sorry for the sounds outside, but I have to open every single window, and so that's it. And so I was really thrilled to read it. There's 3 books, and I think this big one as well, were both in Ireland when I lived in Dublin, and I didn't read them. Very bad. So we are talking about at least 4 years ago, even more. And I remember that because there's a pretty card there, because this one, and which is The Enchantress of Florence and The Ambassador's Secret, I bought them at a sort of charity auction, not really an auction, but which was promoted by my paleography professor. So I do remember buying them and being like, yeah, I should read them, and not reading them. So very good, Melanie, way to go. This one as well, which is Girl Reading by Katie Ward. And there's nothing I can say. Shame on me. Then we have The Mermaid by Christina Henry. This one, it's actually it should be a good book, and I wanted to read it last summer, but I couldn't. There was not enough time for me to read this one as well, but I promise I will read this summer, because it's a summary. Come on, there's a mermaid on his front cover. Then we have these two small books that are penguins. This is Gabriel Chevalier, The Affairs of Flavie, or The Inheritance, and Look to the Lady by Marjorie Ellingham. And as you can see, I hope you can see, these are quite old. You see from the stains and the color of the pages. And these were from in books, maybe. It was I will put it somewhere. It was a sort of box like Illumina or Joy Crate, those theme boxes, and the theme for the boxes that I chose was tea and coffee, tea and books, and vintage books. So I had all these small vintage books, but to be honest, I stopped the subscription because the books were not exactly my taste. They were selected randomly, so I knew from the beginning that it could have been the case, and it was, so that's okay. Then we have a book that was a gift from Vale, and it's Philip Roth, The Human Stain. Then we have The Lies of Loch Lamora by Scott Lynch, of which I've heard great things and I still haven't read it. And this also was from a box subscription, which was called The Bespoken, and it was by the I never said it right. The Willowbury Group Book Club. This book and another book, which is Scottsboro, were from that box subscription, as well as this one, which I will show you now, which is The Enchanted Wonders, Another Story of Nikolai Leskov. Here it is, Willoughby Book Club. Yeah, I haven't read any of it. Yeah, way to go, Melanie. Then we have, as I say, Big Boy that came from Dublin, and is Dracula by Bram Stoker's, which I paid €4 apparently. Culture. Anyway, when I was in Dublin, I was very keen on finding books on vampires, and I specifically wanted to find Carmilla by Sheridan Le Fanu, and of course I couldn't. My point was finding a vintage old edition, and it didn't go well. But I found this one and it was like, well, why not? It's still Dracula and I haven't read it. And here we are, it's still Dracula and I haven't read it. Shame, shame, shame on me. Because this is Her Majesty Virginia Woolf. And this is Orlando. And I promise you're on my list. There's another one by Virginia Woolf, and is Mrs. Dalloway. Can we just take 1 second to appreciate the beauty of the Penguins book? Then we have Simon Sebag Montefiore with One Night in Winter. Every Christmas, winter season, I picked this book, I put it on my bedside, and I'm like, now is the chance. This is gonna be the year I read it. And it never happened. And it's getting to the point where I think I will start, taking this book out of the bookshelf on November. so that we have in November, so that we have more time. But I have to read you. I mean, all of these books I have to read them, of course, but some of them are, it's like extremely painful, and it's a shame, honestly. Like, Virginia Woolf shamed me for not reading you. Next, Kafka on the Shore by Haruki Murakami. This book I wanted to take it with me to Mexico last summer, but because of its size and because I'd already brought with me 4 or 5 books, I was like, maybe when I come back, but then had the exam to enter my PhD school, because in Italy you don't just propose subject or research, you have to go through an examination, so I had to study for that, so I completely forgot about it. Okay. Then we have, which apparently I started read, chapter 1, page 1, perfect. Then we have this book that it's a must for anyone that studies English literature and the 20th century, and it's D.H. Lawrence, Lady Chatterley's Lover. And I mean, what else have to say? What else is there to say? It's a shame. Oh my god. Another shame, I mean, it's gonna be just shame on me from now on. It's Natalie artwork, Scarlet Letter, which I do remember I started, but apparently I didn't. Anyway, this book, it's so modern and important to nowadays, and on so many levels that I think it's really one of those books that you have to read with Orlando as well, especially if you are interested in gender studies as I am. So shame on me, shame. This is gonna be a reading, I promise. On the same page, we have another mega hyper shame. Sorry. Sylvia Plath, The Bell Jar. In my defense, this book, as well as The Scarlet Letter, Orlando and Mrs. Delaware, were on my nightstand, and I had to read them before I was asked from my professor to read other books. So that's why I still haven't read them. I'm still struggling with some books. But yeah, The Bell Jar, I have so many expectations on this one, and I hope I don't get deluded, so we'll see. Oh, you see the pilots getting higher. We have 2 of them. Wait. Then we have Paul Auster, Man in the Dark. I've received this with the Philip Roth one. Still haven't read it, of course, otherwise it would have been in this video. But yeah, I promise I will. Then we have a book that should have been the Italian one, but who knows why it's here. Anyway. And then we have another book that came with the Paul Auster and the Philip Roth ones, and it's You Were Never in Chicago by Neil Simberg. And this book's, I mean, I don't know, there's something about it. I don't know if it's the cover or the general vibe or the fact that I lived in Chicago for a while, so this looks familiar to me. But I hope to read it this summer. I mean, I hope to read all of these books this summer, and I know it's not gonna happen, not for all of them, because I'll also say the same to the one in the Italian video. So, Anyway, the video has come to an end. From next Monday to mid-July, I'll be in Ireland, in Galway, to be precise. And I'll be attending the International Summer School for Irish Studies. So if I'm not uploading videos every Thursday, that's the reason why I know I know I have tons of things to do, have readings to attend, lectures, then have some trips like to the Aran Island and all that kind of stuff. So part is time managing, because of course the summer school is my priority right now, and the others I'm not sure how I'm gonna fit in the schedule. I will do my best, and probably the country would be not English. It technically will be Irish related, but I wanted to say that the chances are that the videos will be all in English, or the majority of them, especially because every time I get back to Ireland or to United Kingdom, I get this sensational habit of completely forgetting, or almost completely forgetting my own native language, and I switch to I don't tend to speak Italian, and except with members of my family, so sometimes it's very hard for me to communicate proficiently in my own native language. So yeah, that's another reason why we don't know what we will see on this channel from this point on. But I hope you like this video. I hope I didn't annoy you to death with my blabbling around books. And if you have read any of those books, just leave me a comment down below. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't yet, and spread the news that I also do make videos in English. And no, this is very Italian. I just gesture, but I'll stop it, I promise. And see you all in the next video.